Parcells has that confident look. No team in the NFL has a better record than his Giants. Their best start since 1930. Even losing Phil Simms hasn't derailed the Giants' express. Replacement Jeff Hostetler has kept the momentum going as the Giants have built a 2-game lead in the tough NFC East. For John Robinson and the Rams, it's been a season of extremes. From its 5-0 start to the disaster of the last 4 weeks. Have the wheels fallen off the wagon? Or can the Rams patch up their problems and make a run in the second half of the season? So today, the Rams look to regain that magic touch, while the Giants continue to dream that this great start leads to another fairy tale finish in the Super Bowl. Stadium is sold out, the home of the Rams, as they entertain the New York Giants with their 8-1 record. Rams have lost 4 in a row. They are 5-4 and struggling. The standings at the moment, although that could change in just about a minute and a half, because Washington is beating Philadelphia. The score is 10-3 with a minute and a half left in that game between those two chasing the Giants. The 49ers own a 3-game advantage over the Rams, so they desperately need a win this afternoon. Good afternoon. I'm Pat Summerall here with John Madden. The Giants spend the week in Phoenix, and one of the big questions that came out of there, and those who follow the Giants during the week, was their quarterback, Phil Simms. He has a sprained ankle. The question is, will he play, and what's your latest information on that?
Well, Phil Simms is going to play. He practiced Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and seemed to feel better each day. They made a special brace for him. It's a carbon fiber thing, and you can see it's a little bulky with a hinge on it. In fact, Simms said his right ankle still hurts, and when he puts this brace on, it hurts even more. We were talking to Bill Parcells last night, and he says he thinks he'll be able to throw in the middle okay and throw to the right. Where he's going to have problems is where he has to pivot off that ankle and throw out to the left side. But I think that the Giants are a running team anyway. In fact, they run 58% of the time, more than any team in the NFL. They have to get that going. Then on the defensive side, as Bill Parcells says, the thing we have to stop is one guy, just Jim Everett. And he remembers the last time they played, Everett threw 5 touchdown passes against them.
John, this Giant defense is one that sort of smothers you. They're not spectacular. John Robinson, the head coach of the Rams, says what we have to do to win this game today and to beat the Giants is to run the football. Can they do it against this defense?
Well, I'm not sure. I kind of have a feeling the Rams are going to come out of this slump, and they've really been on an emotional roller coaster while they've lost these 4 games. But coming out of Minnesota, for some reason, they came out of that with confidence. They felt that they finally played better. And then the other emotion they have is that they're mad. They're going into this game mad today. They think that what they can do is run to the right side. They're going to stay away from Lawrence Taylor and Leonard Marshall. And they know when they pass, those are the 2 guys that they have to double. Now, the reason they feel a little better on defense is they felt when they went down was when they lost Larry Kelm and Fred Strickland. They're 2 inside linebackers. They're getting both of them back today, and I'll tell you, the Rams need all the help they can get in this thing.
Well, John, they'll have it first on offense. They have won the toss. Raul Alegre will kick it off and kick off to the 2 deep men, Robert Del Pino, number 39, and Ron Brown. Alegre making sure he's got them all. A bright, sunny, 80-degree afternoon in Anaheim. Beautiful day. The Giants 8-1, the Rams 5-4, and have lost 4 in a row. After a great start, it's going to be Del Pino. At about the 6th, to just shy of the 30, where he's knocked down by Greg Cox. Jim Everett, who's been under some heat here with the Rams, will start at quarterback. In front of him, he'll have one of the best offensive lines at one time, certainly, maybe not now, in the business of professional football. Panky, Newberry, Smith, Slayton, Slater, and Damone Johnson is the tight end. Buford McGee is the fullback. Ellard and Willie Anderson. Flipper start at wide receiver with Greg Bell. Ever dangerous, the deep back. Everett is going to put it up on first down. Lofts it over the head of Damone Johnson. Those of you who watch the Minnesota Vikings defeat Tampa Bay 24-10, welcome to Anaheim Stadium. You've missed only one play of the match between the Giants and the Rams. John Robinson frustrated over the last 4 weeks after getting off to that great 5-0 start. Now his team is struggling. Greg Bell, the lone setback. That's Anderson in motion. Bell, the carry. Just outside 30, stopped by Johnny Cooks. And here's the Giant defense. Washington, Howard, and Leonard Marshall having an outstanding year up front. Banks, Reasons, Cooks, and LT. Lawrence Taylor, the linebackers. Collins and Williams are the corners. Kennard and Myron Guyton, the two safety men. It'll be 3rd and 7. Rams at their own 31. Anderson wide left. Cox and Ellard go wide right. Houlihan on the move. Ball's in the air. A flag on the play. The Giants recover the fumble. Harry Williams got it, but there's a penalty marker on the play. Jim Tunney, one of the very best, is the referee.
Hey, that's the type of defense the Giants.
75 defense.
Like the Ram offensive unit is headed back on the field.
Well, the penalty is against the Giants, but in fact, it's against that guy right there, Mark Duckins.
75 defense lined up in the neutral zone. It'll still be 3rd down.
Boy, that's a big play.
Big break for one side and a hurting for the other side.
Yeah, and that's the thing that as a coach, it just drives you crazy. If someone pulls you off sides or something, but when a guy lines up off sides, all you have to do is look at the ball. And when you line up in the neutral zone, you're lined up over the ball.
3rd and 2. Houlihan on the move. Pass outside quickly to Del Pino. Del Pino into Giant territory, pushed out of bounds by Johnny Cooks. John Robinson said yesterday, we got to get the ball to this guy more.
And you remember the last time they played in Giant Stadium, that's exactly what they did. They hit Del Pino out in the flat, and here they're doing it again. In fact, the Rams said yesterday when we played them back there in New York, they didn't cover the flats. Bill Parcells said last night, we didn't cover the flats. And they start this game, and they're not covering the flats.
And the Rams pick up 23 yards and a first down at the Giant 41. It's Bell and Del Pino behind Everett. Going to throw it again, if he has time, to the 40. He dives for a yard. Eric Howard made sure he stayed down.
I think one thing the Rams want to do is be more aggressive today. You know, they've had that patient thing. They've had that run. They've had the conservative thing, and that didn't work. And maybe they pulled in their horns too much. I think today they want to let it out.
Final score. The Redskins have beaten the Eagles and knocked the Eagles a game further behind the Giants. This is Bell. Bounces around behind the line of scrimmage, and a swarming defense led by John Washington will stop him for a loss of a yard.
That's the area that the Rams think that they can run, is to their right side, run at John Washington and Carl Banks. Of course, if you're going to run at him, you got to get him blocked. They got one of the best blockers on their team in Jackie Slater.
And for the most part, he'll be blocking John Washington.
I don't think they feel that Banks is the weakest thing. I think they feel they can knock Washington off the line.
On 3rd down, a blitz coming from the Giants. Incomplete, intended for Aaron Cox. He had a step on Perry Williams, but the ball hung just a little too long.
There's two areas, Pat, that I feel the Giants have really improved in this year. It's their secondary. Their secondary is playing excellent this year, and the other area is the one we see coming up here, special teams.
Well, Dale Hatcher, who had that heartbreaking punt block last week against the Vikings. Well, they lost the game in overtime on a safety. It is the Ram punter and Dave Meggett standing back at the 10 for the Giants. It's the kind of punt he wanted. A high hanger. And it stayed there until the Giants will take over at the 12 after a fair catch. Phil Simms will start at quarterback, bad ankle and all. In front of him, a huge offensive line. Elliott and Riesenberg the tackles. Roberts and Moore the guards. Bart Oates the center, and Zeke Moat, who also has a bad ankle, starts at tight end in place of Bavaro. Otis Anderson, Maurice Carthon, the runners. Turner and Manuel wide for the Giants. Those of you who watched the Redskins defeat the Eagles, welcome to Anaheim Stadium. 0-0. First time the Giants have had the ball. They start from their own 12, and Sim has it batted down. Mike Wilshire got a hand up, as he did once in Minnesota last week, and knocked it away. Odessa Turner, the intended receiver. What did Bill Parcells say about Simms? He'll have difficulty throwing to the left.
To his left, so on his first pass, he comes out and throws to the left.
2nd and 10. That's Carthon on the move, and the handoff is to Anderson. No place to go. No gain. Ram defense led by Kevin Green, and let's take an in-depth look at that defense. That's their standard. The front three, Reed, Wright, and Peel. A lot of linebackers. Green, Strickland, Kelm, and Wilshire. In the secondary, Jerry Gray and Clifford Hicks, the cornerbacks. Newsom and Stewart are the safeties. Now they go with an extra defensive back. 2 of them, in fact. Up the middle to Turner. He's out to about the 20. Jerry Gray tripped him up, but the Giants didn't get enough for a first, and they'll have to punt.
Ram defense is excited here because they can see not only did they stop the Giants on this first drive, but they're anticipating getting good field position here.
Landeta to punt it. Henley, the return man. Great kick by Landeta. Chases him all the way back inside the 30. He gets it back to the 35. 53-yard punt, 8-yard return.
Yeah, that doesn't look like a lot, that punt coverage, but I think that, you know, we talked about the area. Sean Landeta is having a heck of a year as a punter. He got his new cover guy now in Renee Thompson. And Landeta says when he did that, he was talking to Miami players, and they say, boy, you're getting a guy you're going to love.
Matter of fact, he was talking to the Miami punter, Roby. Said, you're going to love this guy. He gets down there.
Well, you know, those are about the only guys that talk to kickers.
That's
or other
right.
kickers.
I thought that when I read it.
Yeah, you could assume that it would have to be Roby.
First down. Wide open is Houlihan. Giant territory to the 42. Let's go now for an NFL update to Brent Musburger in New York.
Well, Pat, let me offer a little fantasy to Giant fans dreaming about the Super Bowl. The Denver Broncos of the AFC. They've got the best record as David Treadwell wins it, 16-13 over the Chiefs. The Broncos now go to 8-2. Let's go back to Pat and John.
Back at Anaheim Stadium, first down the Rams at the Giant 42 on the completion from Everett to Houlihan. No score here. Bell. Stopped by Banks, but he gets knocked around for 5 yards.
Well, that's the thing that the Rams wanted to do was run Bell over to that side and let him get knocked around. I think, you know, one of the reasons we said they want to run at John Washington there, number 73, and Banks, but I think even more than that, they want to keep the ball away from the other side where Lawrence Taylor and Leonard Marshall hang out.
They were very emphatic about those two guys. All the Rams have a lot of respect for Marshall and Taylor. I don't think it's centered here either. Everybody does. Everett. Intended for Buford McGee. Johnny Cooks was out there with him. They got the matchup they wanted, I'm sure, but incomplete.
Sometimes you have to give a linebacker some respect too. You know, they always said, oh, we can get our back out there man-to-man and linebacker. Well, sometimes a linebacker has something to say, as Johnny Cooks just did on that play. He got out there in the open field. He just covered him like a cornerback.
Some question about whether he was going to play.
Well, I guess he turned his ankle in practice Thursday, and they were thinking right up to game time that he might not start.
3rd and 5. That's the 37. Everett's going to have to hurry. And he drags for Holohan. Adrian White was the defender. He's claiming Holohan didn't catch it. Holohan's celebration says that he did.
I'll tell you, Holohan may be trying to sell that too, because he did a heck of a lot of celebrating for a first down. This was a good throw. He got it right out in front of him. Now, did he have control of it? No, he didn't catch that. Is that a foot or a ball? The sole of his foot. I don't know about that one.
They're going to check it.
As I said, I think Pete Holohan jumped up and celebrated too much. I think that was salesmanship.
That alerted him a little bit, I think. Let's look another time at that one.
He celebrated like it was the 4th of July.
Now he's saying I had it. No question about it. I had it.
Let's see it in the clicker here. We'll get it going here. And then we'll see right there. Does the ball hit the ground? I don't know. I think he has it as he goes down. Yeah, I think he was right. I think he had reason to celebrate. He caught the ball, had control of it when he went down, and then it came out after the whistle should have blown, or after he was down.
Bill Fetty is the replay official as they still check. Washington beat Philadelphia. The Vikings over the Buccaneers. Detroit leading Green Bay in the 4th quarter by 11.
Upon review, the play stands. First down.
And Tenney says the play stands, and when he says it, you believe it.
One thing I always liked about Jim Tunney, whenever Jim Tunney referees a game, he is in complete control of it.
And you just sort of seem to accept things. Bell. Washington and Howard. Bell got 2.
I wonder when the Giants will figure out that the Rams' running game plan is to run everything to the right. I wouldn't be surprised if they keep doing that. You might not see Leonard Marshall lining up on that side, or Lawrence Taylor.
They'll figure it out soon. They haven't run anything to the left yet.
But, you know, even when you run away from Lawrence Taylor, you better block him. See what the Rams are doing? They're going power to this side so they can shut him off, because he can catch it from behind.
Everett. Ram receiver had it and dropped it. It was Henry Ellert, who has 55 catches already this year. Rare to see him drop one.
You know, he was saying yesterday that when he decided to be a wide receiver, he used to be a Dallas Cowboy fan as a little kid. He said he remembered watching Bob Hayes, and he said he wanted to be just like Bob Hayes.
Well, he may not be quite as fast, but he is a very, very dangerous receiver. 3rd down. Now it's Ellert in motion. Intended for Ellert. Broken up by Adrian White. And we'll see Lansford, the Rams' barefoot kicker.
That is tough to do against this defense that the Giants play. They play that soft, deep zone, and it is hard to throw a running pattern down through the middle.
It's going to be 44 yards with Holohan holding for Lansford. That'll get there. Good. And the Rams will lead it 3-0 in the first quarter. 7:44 left.
The kind of drive that the Rams were looking for. Of course, you always want to score a touchdown. That's obvious. But the thing they did on that drive is they mixed up the run and the pass. They got a little push going, but Jim Everett had good pass protection. They didn't get there. I tell you, when things are going bad, they really go bad. The Rams have lost 4 in a row. Now, somewhere it has to change. You get that thing where it hits a pipe and bounces in.
Last week, you recall, Lansford in Minnesota hit one that hit the crossbar and bounced backwards. So I guess he was due.
There is a real veteran offensive line player, number 78, Jackie Slater. I tell you, he's been one of the best, is still one of the best. Been in this league playing right tackle for 14 years.
That's amazing.
And he's always been a top guy. I mean, he's a heck of a guy, a hard-working guy. Football still fun to him. Good pass blocker, good run blocker.
Dave Meggett, who's also had a real impact on the Giant attack, not only on returning kicks, but coming out of the backfield in long yardage situations.
I don't think anyone has figured out that third down thing where they put Meggett in there and he comes anywhere out of the backfield, just gets open.
They kick to Mark Ingram, who handles it at the 6-yard line. And he fought his way just outside the 20. The Rams scoring drive, 8 plays, 37 yards, 44-yard field goal by Lansford. Got him on the board. It's 3-0.
See, this is what line coaches do. You see, they get their linemen down there, then they draw up the defenses and the stunts and the blitzes. You see where they got there? They gotten that's their nickel package. See, they got Taylor coming from the outside. 38 is Bray Cox, the nickel back.
First and 10 Giants from their own 21-yard line. That was Roussan in motion, and that's Anderson up the middle to about the 25, a pickup of 4. Perhaps Doug Reed was the first Ram to stop him.
That's that giant formation they were in that time, Pat, that they call load, where they have 2 tight ends and a fullback out on one side. That time it was a load left. They're doing more and more of that, you know, with the 2 tight ends. Of course, without Mark Bavaro, it's tough. They're playing Zeke Moat, Howard Cross. Then the third guy we'll see in the end is a back.
And it is now George Adams. Sims straight back. Trying to set the screen to Adams. Does. And the Rams read it perfectly. Larry Kelm was all over Adams right from the beginning.
Maybe that's why the Rams were so happy to get Kelm back. John Robinson said when they lost these 2 guys, 52 and 53, that's Kelm and Strickland, that their defense really went down. He said they're smart guys, good players, you know, provide the leadership. Even though they're young players, he felt that that's when their defense started going in a slump.
Back to about the original line of scrimmage. Baker split wide to the left by himself. Sims out of the spread. Is Rush. They run the screen the other side to Meggett. Meggett skipping out of bounds. He looked as if he were just a little bit short of a first down. Popped out by Stewart.
He is short, and the Giants are going to have to punt. Hey, that would have been a loss if it had not been for the block that William Roberts got out there.
So Landeta, his second punt of the day coming up to Darrell Henry, the NFL leader in punt returns. A good high hanging kick. Henry cut down immediately by Greg Cox. well to hold on to the ball. 38-yard kicks.
You're talking about Renee Thompson. That other guy is Greg Cox. They got him as a Plan B player, number 38. But watch how quickly they get down there. And there's not only one guy down there. There's 3 and 4 and 5. And these guys are playing special teams the way good defenses play. There's Greg Cox, 38. He was a Plan B player they got from the 49ers last year.
So the Rams take over, first and 10 at their own 32. Wilfred McGee is the motion man. That's Del Pino. Del Pino breaking tackles. Stopped finally by Kennard, but a pickup of 16. We'd like to welcome those of you who watched New Orleans defeat New England 28-24. Welcome to Anaheim Stadium, where the Rams lead the Giants 3-0 in the first quarter. Pat Summerall with John Madden. 5:20 left to play in the first quarter. Across the 50, about the 48 for a gain of 3. Stopped by Reason.
Yeah, this is the 3rd week in a row that we've done a Ram game, Pat, and this is the most aggressive that I've seen the Ram team in those 3 weeks. I think that they looked like against the Bears and last week against Minnesota that they were playing on their heels instead on their toes. And when you start playing on your heels, you're waiting for stuff to happen instead of making stuff happen.
They keep saying we have to be able to run the ball, and it's hard to run the ball when, as you say, you're playing on your heels. Here's Everett. Out of the pocket, out to Bell. Mark Collins takes him out of bounds after a pickup of 5.
Well, I think their offensive line is a good offensive line, the Rams, but they've been in a little slump. I mean, they had trouble with Richard Dent, remember, up in Chicago. Last week they had trouble with Keith Millard. Thus far in the game, they seem to have the Giant defense pretty well under control.
3rd and 2, and you saw that time of possession. That's a big item to both these two coaches. Of course, it is to any coach, but particularly to these two. They like to run it. Everett to Del Pino, who hammers for a first down. He got 5 before he stopped by Washington.
Well, we were talking to John Robinson yesterday. He says that Del Pino is going to play more and more and get the ball more and more. And you can see that. He was the first guy in the I formation. Usually you hand it to the second guy. They just popped him, again, right through that right side. I think they've just run to the right and to the middle in this game.
That's all.
I don't think they've come to the left yet.
First down at the Giant 38. Here comes one to the left with Del Pino. He only got a yard. Stopped by Marshall and Cooks.
Yeah, the one thing about Leonard Marshall, they play that 2-gap where he has to play into the tackle, then he has to play the gap to his right and the gap to his left. And most coaches in the NFL will say that Leonard Marshall plays 2-gap better than anyone in the league, meaning taking on that tackle and being responsible for the inside and outside gap.
It's a tough job. Anderson and Ellard both split to the left. Houlihan on the stroll in the backfield. Pass intended for, I believe it's Duval Love. I beg your pardon, Damone Johnson.
I think Damone Johnson fell down just as he was going to get the ball, but watch the pass protection. See, the Rams can feel good about this, that Everett has time to throw up. Now to set up and throw. The guy who got there just as he threw it was Carl Banks.
Last week, part of their game plan was to get the ball to Damone Johnson more. And he caught a lot of passes, but not for many yards.
Third down. Everett with all kinds of time gets it out to Aaron Cox. Great protection and a flag on the play. 15 yards, but there's a penalty.
You want to know where Lawrence Taylor is? Watch him. He's going to come in here in a stunt. Watch him pick him off there, and that's what give Everett the time. He has to get the pressure the Giants do from this side, but watch Taylor come in there. He gets hit by the back and the guard, gets knocked right back to the line of scrimmage, and that's where Everett stands up.
Defense with that top of the helmet. First down.
Against Duckins again. Hit Everett from behind, and that moves it all the way down to the 11-yard line.
Mark Duckins is number 75. Now, the one thing they protect the quarterbacks is hitting him in the head. Now, he didn't hit him in the head. He hit him with his head. In the back. I don't know what's wrong with that. I think he could call it a late hit. That looked, you know, I mean, you could hit a guy like that, I would think.
Here's Everett back to throw it. Waves it out to Delpino. And he forces his way inside the 5. Harry Williams took him out of bounds.
Bill Parcells remembers that's the same play that killed him in New York. Just Delpino coming out into the flat. Watch him here in the right of the screen. Just coming up past the line of scrimmage right out into the flat. The Giants, again, are a zone defense, but they let him have that pass, and the Rams will take that one all day.
Yeah, you gotta have somebody cover that guy.
Well, you have to have someone out there that, you know, has a chance to react to the ball.
2nd and 3. It's McGee and Bell in the backfield. McGee to about the 1. Almost in. Stopped by Guyton.
Hey, this is a totally different Ram team than we've seen for 3 weeks. These guys are not only up in their toes, but they're getting off the ball. They're really taking it early in this game to the Giants.
It'll be 1st and goal inside the 1.
And this is where you can see it down here in these short yardage and goal lines. Who wins these battles in the trenches? This is football. This is what it's all about. The other stuff left.
On grass.
Yeah.
Bell, touchdown.
This all starts with the offensive line. Watch 56 Taylor. He's going to get into a position to jump over to hit that back. Greg Bell goes right underneath it. And the reason he did that is he had a soft spot underneath that his offensive line created.
Lansford's extra point is good, and it's 10-0 Rams. A minute and 58 seconds left in the first quarter at Anaheim Stadium, and the Rams lead the Giants 10-0. A hot but clear afternoon in Anaheim as the Rams lead the Giants 10-0. Still in the first quarter, a minute 58 left. Greg Bell, who just scored the touchdown. Lansford set to kick it off. Baggett and Ingram back deep for the Giants. Baggett says they're going to kick it. Ingram says, I know they're going to kick it to me.
And then he pointed, he's going to go to the left.
Short kick. Takes a Ram bounce. Out of bounds. Ingram fumbled it after the bounce. And there is an injured Giant on the sideline.
Hey, that's one on the kickoff. That's a free ball. You got to catch that thing on a fly. You got to get a jump on it as it gets off its foot.
And that's Ingram, who is down. And the Rams almost had another turnover. Anaheim Stadium, as seen from above from the new Fuji blimp, up there making its West Coast debut at today's game. Piloted today by Dominic Meunier, who has flown blimps all over the world and is Fuji's senior captain. 10-0. Anderson lost a couple. Stewart and Alvin Wright, the nose tackle. The first Rams there.
Well, Doug Reed got in there too, and he got penetration. They were trying to run to their right. 93 there got a good jump, and he got about 3 yards in the backfield, and then that threw the whole play off.
Total domination at the moment by the Rams on yardage charts and on the scoreboard.
The Giants are running into a buzzsaw here. I'll tell you, they're getting ambushed.
Anderson, the single setback. Sims back to throw. Up the middle to Lee Roussan. Picked up 7 yards. Fred Strickland made the stop. Word from the Giants is that Ingram just had the wind knocked out of him. He fell on the ball, and a Ram fell on top of him, and it just knocked the wind out of him. He should be back.
That's a tough thing with a ball, because the only wind that's going to come out is out of you or the ball, and the ball always seems to win that wind contest.
You don't break many of those, do you?
They're hard to knock the air out of.
Third. Here's Sims. Rush and down by Green. Kevin Green. And Sims took a pretty good shot.
Kevin Green came off that left corner like he was shot out of a cannon. Bill Sims didn't feel good going into this thing, but watch Kevin Green, boom, coming off that corner. He comes like he's shot. The tackle, Riesenberg doesn't even get out of his stance. Kevin Green beat him off the ball.
In the meantime, the Giants have punted. Henley fumbled it, and there's a scramble for the ball after the punt. Rams somehow got it back out of that scramble. They got rid of that thing in a hurry, didn't they? Greg Cox was down to make the hit on Henley, but the Rams got it back with 19 seconds to go in the first quarter. 10-0. The Rams lead with 19 seconds remaining in the first quarter. Phil Sims leaning over the bench. He had a bad ankle coming in. This is Bell. Gets out to about the 43 and pick up a 4. Stopped by Leonard Marshall. Sheldon White is in at the right cornerback defensively for the Giants, replacing Perry Williams. We'll check and see if he's hurt or not. That's the end of the first quarter with the score. The Rams 10, the Giants nothing. Second quarter about to begin at Anaheim Stadium. Pat Summerall with John Madden. The Giants and the Rams. Word from the Giants is there is nothing wrong physically with Perry Williams. He was just replaced and has been replaced in this last series.
Well, you know, Bill Parcells told us and has been telling us that Sheldon White is probably the best athlete in that whole bunch, and he can't get him in there as a starter. Maybe he's just working him in there more.
Outside to Buford McGee. Sheldon White. And Lawrence Taylor knocked him out of bounds.
You know, that's an old NFL thing. Anytime you see a new corner, for whatever reason, you go right to work on the guy. You always throw to his area. I think that's rule 1 when they started this league. throw-on area of new cornerback, or the other one is rookie cornerback.
And you know, John, it's getting more and more difficult to figure out who is in the game. That's one of the toughest things to coach now, I think.
Well, they change every down, and, you know, that's tough for leadership. When you have guys playing every down, how can you get a leader?
The draw play to Delpino, and there's nothing doing. Leonard Marshall was the first man there. Those of you who watched the Detroit Lions in Green Bay, this is Anaheim Stadium, the home of the Rams, as the Lions upset the Packers. Here, Rams lead at 10-0. Hatcher's kick fielded by Meggett. And the Giants will take it over after a 31-yard punt. They'll start at their own 24-yard line. So we have 14:22 left to play in the first half. Phil Simms has played the entire way for the Giants.
Teaming up on special teams.
CBS Sports coverage of the National Football League is sponsored by Michelob Dry. Bold taste with no aftertaste. Mick Dry refreshes completely. Delta Airlines. We love to fly, and it shows. And by Ford and your Ford dealer. Have you driven a Ford lately?
Anaheim Stadium. This will tell you why the Rams are leading 10-0. 3-3-3 in every series for the Giants. 3 and out. 3 punts. Total plays 27-9. The runner from Simms fell down. Fred Strickland could have had another touchdown for the Rams. He had the ball. It got away from him. Odessa Turner was the intended receiver.
Well, what Phil Simms is trying to do, he's throwing a slant pass into a zone defense. So you're trying to throw it into the seam. He was trying to get it behind Strickland. Strickland ran by it and then reached back. So he stopped that seam with his right arm.
Strickland was probably supposed to cover Anderson, who fell down in the backfield. Simms pass complete to Baker, I believe. A 19-yard pickup. Clifford Higgs.
Yeah, the big thing on that play, Pat, is it looked like Simms didn't have any trouble throwing to his left. You see, it's his right ankle that's bad. Now, when you throw to your left, you got to plant and pivot off that right. But you see what he did? He just lifted his foot out of the ground. Watch him lift his right foot out of the ground, and he throws off his left foot.
First down, Giants at their 43. Anderson hit immediately. Got a yard, but had to fight for that. Doug Reed and Mike Peel.
That's not a great start for O.J. 4 runs, 3 yards. But he was saying last night that he thinks one of the best things that the coaching staff of the Giants do is make adjustments in the running game at halftime. He said a lot of times we don't do much running in the first half, then we talk about it and adjust at halftime and have big third and fourth quarters.
2nd and 9. Simms will go back to throw it. Meggett stopped by Strickland. Gain of 5. Denver beat Kansas City on the last play of the game on a field goal. Buffalo got some revenge. Miami was down 20-3 and came back to win it. New Orleans got out front early and then held on. Chris Miller, by the way, the Falcon quarterback, kicked a field goal. Their kicker is injured, McFadden. So Miller kicked a 25-yarder. High snap. Simms gets it down with one hand in the direction of Meggett, who couldn't come up with a handle. Covered by Wilcher.
That's that same third down pass that the Giants do now, where they just tell Meggett, just get open. And he can run anywhere, right or left, and he usually goes right through the line to get open. He did and dropped the ball.
Simms did a good job to hang on to the snap. Landeta. Another good kick. Henley lets it go into the end zone, and they'll start from the 20. 50-yard punt by Landeta. 12:41 left to play in the first half. It's the Rams 10 and the Giants nothing in Anaheim. The Rams, losers of 4 in a row, are playing in an inspired way. To summarize what happened so far, it's been total domination by the Rams. They've got 9 first downs to the Giants 1. And they've had the ball over 10 minutes to the Giants 6 minutes. And that's something that Bill Parcells, the Giant coach, has been stressing.
Yeah, and that's what the Rams are doing. You know, they lost those 4 in a row, and each game they had like a different emotion coming into it. I like this emotion today. They came in here mad. I mean, they're mad at themselves, they're mad at everyone, and they're going to take it out on the Giants.
And it's time to get mad when you lose 4 in a row after winning 5 in a row. Here's Everett back to throw it again. Wheels it out to Buford McGee. And they pick up 8 yards. Stopped by Myron Guyton.
I'll tell you one thing there. Offensive line is controlling the tempo. They're controlling that Giant defense. They're giving Jim Everett a little more time. He's throwing quicker. Where he had trouble the past couple weeks, there was always someone in his face or at his feet when he was trying to throw. So far, his line has been keeping this Giant defense off of him.
2nd and 2 at the 28. Bell is the lone setback, and the pitch is back to him. And Bell gets a first down, but a flag comes flying. Terry Kennard made the stop.
That's in the area of offensive holding. When that guy right behind the defensive line throws one, it's usually against the offense. We're seeing more and more of that holding calls on running downs.
Holding, 78. Still 2nd down.
78, of course, is Jackie Slater, the right tackle. That's where they've been doing all the running behind Slater. He's blocking John Washington most of the time. That was a Rams plan coming in. They've had success with it, and I'm sure they're going to stay with it all day.
And even the best, like a Slater, hold sometime. Here's Everett. Houlihan. And didn't get much out of it. Stopped by Banks. 2 yards.
You know what the Giants did, and something I thought they would do, is they put Lawrence Taylor over on that right side of the Rams that time. They figured out that all they're doing, they're going that way, they're going right. So on that play, Lawrence Taylor lined up on the left side of the defense or the Rams' right side.
They also got Pepper Johnson into the action as well. Now they go with just 2 defensive linemen. And Everett didn't like what he saw. Timeout, Rams.
Now the Giants were in their nickel package, as you say, where they have these 6 defensive backs and the 2 linemen, and Jim Everett had motion and changed his mind in the middle of the motion.
11:24 left to play in the first half. The Rams up 10-0. No, Anaheim Stadium has not been moved. That's Disneyland, which is close by. Big Thunder Mountain.
Big Thunder Mountain ought to be a nose tackle for someone.
Should be.
Who's playing on the nose tackle? We got old Big Thunder Mountain out there. Let a guy, well, you could play handball on Big Thunder Mountain.
That's the way the Rams have been playing. It's some Big Thunder. They'll need some here to get a first down. Everett is going to get it. Or close to it. 12-yard sprint.
that was more of a lumber. That was a 12-yard lumber. Let's look and see why he ran. And you'll see anytime you give a quarterback a hole or a lane, you see right there, if we stop it right there, we see the rush is here, the rush is down here. Now he has this lane, and the closest Giant is here. So he knows that he can lumber that far. And he did for the first down.
And he goes back to throw it again. Gets it outside to Bell. Bell bangs to the 45, another first down. Reason brought him down.
If you give Jim Everett that much time to throw the ball, he'll kill you. And that's exactly what the Giant defense is doing. Or you can take it the other way. The offensive line of the Rams is giving him that much time. Watch the time that he has. Watch the pass protection here. They pick out Taylor on the top. They drive Marshall in. Look, time. Too much time. And they blocked the two guys they had to, Leonard Marshall and Lawrence Taylor.
They had two guys on both of them. Bell again. One maybe. Washington and Howard on the stop.
Well, you know, last night we were talking to Leonard Marshall, and he thought that Irv Pankey was playing the best of that Ram offensive line. And, of course, that's a guy that he's going to play against, a Ram left tackle. And the way he's protecting, Irv Pankey is blocking mostly on pass protection. He is going out and blocking Lawrence Taylor. Then the guy next to him is Tom Newberry, who is blocking against Leonard Marshall.
McGee moves out of the backfield in motion. Picks up 6, stopped by Reasons. We're at Anaheim Stadium. It's 8-1 Giants against the 5-4 Rams. The Rams in command of this one so far, 10-0, trying to break that losing streak.
You know, as you watch this first half go, you can just see Jim Everett getting more and more and more confident. Because he went through that 4-game losing streak. He was in a little slump, and his confidence was slipping a little.
This will get it back for you. Outside to Houlihan. Hit immediately by Guyton. No gain. Pass completion, but nothing out of it.
That's what the Giants do so well. They play that zone, but they tackle well. Myron Guyton, I think, as a rookie, has been a great addition to this secondary. I think all year, Pat, Guyton has only missed 2 tackles.
That's Megan back deep for Hatcher's punt. Which is a good one. Megan feels it at the 6. Got away from 1, got away from 2. Got out to about the 15. 43-yard punt. Return of 10. Anthony Newman down to bring him down. So 7:48 left in the first half, with the Rams shutting out the Giants at the moment, 10-0. The Rams over the Giants. Some of the other scores from around the league earlier today: the Redskins beat the Eagles, the Vikings over the Buccaneers. 1st and 10 Giants at their own 16. They haven't been able to get anything untracked on offense. Sims outside to Mowat. Knocked out of bounds by Newman. Mowat and Sims both are wearing one of those ankle braces that you were talking about earlier.
Yeah, carbon fiber. And Bill Parcells said that Mowat's been wearing it, and when they told him about this brace, he wanted to find out who else wore it. And when he heard that Chris Miller of the Atlanta Falcons wore it, then he said he felt pretty good that at least a quarterback's wearing it, someone in the league is wearing it, and it has some credibility.
2nd and 3. Sims to Anderson. Nothing. Alvin Wright, who's sort of an unsung member of the Ram defense, but he's pretty good.
He's probably the most underrated player on their team. If you can't block the nose tackle, you can't run. And watch what he does to a center. Just watch him. He's over the center there. he takes a step to his left and then right back to the right down the line of scrimmage. His thing is to take on that center or make a move, but don't let him cut back. And I'll tell you, he does that as well as any nose tackle.
3rd down and 3 at the 23. Anderson again. He might have a first down this time. That might be the longest run of the day for the Giants.
Well, they caught Wright going in a stunt. He was going to the left that time. Otis Anderson read it, and he went back the other way. Watch what happens. We'll see him. He jumps this side. Anderson takes the ball and cuts it here. See, now watch Wright. He's going to jump around the center. You see it there? And then that's the lane that let O.J. Anderson get that first down.
That's only their 2nd first down of the day. Limps in motion. Sims limps back to throw it to Anderson. Just dropped it.
Today he dropped that, but he's an amazing story. Coming into this game, he already had 206 carries. He says he feels so good about it because he's beaten the odds. He said no one thought he would be able to start. No one thought he'd even make the team. And to be doing what he's doing, he said makes him feel better than he's ever felt as a football player.
He said last night, I could have a real job. Rams showing blitz. Sims gets rid of it to Ingram. They beat the blitz. First down by Sims to Ingram at the 45.
He also beat Clifford Hicks out there. But here's where it starts, the pass protection. You know your quarterback has a bad ankle, so you have to give him excellent pass protection so that he can see and then he can step up and throw. The Giants did it. And watch him move out here. Clifford Hicks is starting for Leroy Irvin today. Ingram makes a great move on that end, cutting it out and not gaining ground.
5.5 minutes left in the first half. Sims back to throw. That is Maurice Carthon, and it's another Giant first down, a pickup of 13. Carthon brought down by Mel Owens.
I think the Giants have figured out that it's not going to be as easy to run today as we thought, so we're going to have to loosen this thing up with the pass. One nice thing about completing a pass to a fullback, when he gets in the open field, he runs like a fullback.
It out to Lionel Manuel. Again, it's Clifford Hicks, the defender.
Now, one of the worries the Giants had about Sims coming in is could he throw to the left? I think they can get rid of that worry. They can forget that because he can not only throw it, but he can zip it out there. But the way he's doing it, you see he's taking that right foot again. He takes the right foot out of the ground. He's not really pivoting that much on that right ankle. In fact, that's the 5th time that he's thrown to the left so far, so that will not be a problem.
He sort of slings it with that motion now. There he is back again in the pocket with time over the head of Carthon. It looked as if he didn't expect it. Right now, again, for an NFL update, let's go back to New York and Brent Musburger.
Matchup a lot of folks have been waiting for today. Jerry Rice against Deion Sanders. The quick hitch. Now Deion will over pursue. He'll catch him late at the goal line and go up on the helmet, but Rice has got a touchdown for the Niners. It's 14-3. Back to Pat and John.
I don't know too many people who match up with Jerry Rice.
I'll take Jerry Rice on any matchup, Pat.
This time the Giants split Roussan wide to the right. Sims gets it to Anderson. He gets down to the Ram 25-yard line. Stopped by Kevin Green.
Boy, can he unload. I tell you, he got there. Otis Anderson, he caught that. Did he unload into Kevin Green?
The first 4 times the Giants had the ball, they kept it 3 plays, 3 plays, 3 plays, 5 plays, and then they had to punt. Now this time, a little bit better results. 3rd and 5 coming up.
Ron Earhart decided to go to the forward pass a little more to loosen up this Ram defense.
Sims again has time and completes it to Meggett. Meggett down and out of bounds at about the 11-yard line. A gain of 15. Clifford Hicks, and here's that play again, John.
Watch him. Meggett just comes out of the backfield. Meggett is right here. Now he can run anywhere. On this one, he's just going to come here. He looks like he was going to go inside. He stops, goes outside, raises his hand like you do in a touch game. But I tell you, this has been a big improvement in this team also. Not only David Meggett, but their 3rd down passing.
1st and 10 Giants at the Ram 11. Hand off Anderson. Nothing there. Wilshire from behind.
I would think here the success that they're having with the pass, I think they could keep doing that. I think they can work on these Ram corners, Clifford Hicks, and even work out there on the right side on Jerry Gray a little. I think they have a lot of respect, or more respect, for Gray, so they're staying away from the right passing.
2nd and 10. Sims outside Anderson. To the 4. Stopped by Wilshire again. Strickland with an assist. A gain of 7.
Again, you know, O.J. Anderson is like a fullback in the open field, and this is why you like to get a hard runner out there, because now he's through that line, and you can get him making runs where defensive backs have to take him on. And any running back likes that, to get out in the open field and take on defensive backs and not linebackers.
He was saying last night that he's bigger now than he was in those 1,000-yard years at St. Louis.
Yeah, he said he's bigger and slower.
And stronger.
Said he never was fast, though. People always thought he was fast. He said he never was fast.
2-minute warning approaching, and Sims will approach Parcells from the Giant bench. Jerry Gray comes over to talk to Robinson. 10-0 Rams over the Giants. Next Saturday, number 1 Notre Dame against number 13 Penn State. 2 of the legendary coaches in collegiate football, 2 of the legendary athletic programs in collegiate football. 2:30 Eastern time here on CBS. Notre Dame, as a matter of fact, has won 22 straight. His school record. Here at Anaheim Stadium, it's 3rd and 3. Giant ball at the Ram 4. They trail by 10. Turner was the man in motion. Sims with all kinds of time. Can he limp into the end zone? Stopped and threw it over the head of Zeke Mowat. One ankle brace to another ankle brace.
Tell you, Sims knew that he couldn't make it. He had to make it into the end zone for the first down. He knew with that ankle, I mean, he's not a great runner anyway, but look at the time that he has. He starts, he gets up to the line, he sees Mowat out there, he decides to throw it to him. He just throws it over his head. Well, he had a pretty good deal there. He's been moving the ball around. At one time, he had 13 completions to 10 different receivers.
Allegre from 22 yards away gets the Giants on the board with a minute and 50 seconds left to play in the first half. It's 10-3. The Rams lead.
You know, Sims has that look that you know what to do, but the body won't let you do it. He knew, he saw the hole, he saw the end zone, and he just knew that there was no way that that flat tire would take him there.
A reminder that coming up at the halftime, Brent and Irv with all the scores and the highlights and the latest information from around the league. A lot still going on, as a matter of fact. He'll get you up to date on that. I don't know what. I didn't know you had a following.
Well, those guys.
Fan club or what?
Those guys remember me from my coaching days with the Raiders. They used to always say that Madden's a melon head.
I never heard that.
Yeah, Madden's a melon head, yeah.
Looks good on you.
Yeah, they touch those pictures up. You know that. You can't do anything. That's like putting frosting on manure.
Well, I'd rather talk about the melons. George Frontiere, the Ram owner, over on the sideline. Delfino will field it at the 5. And he's down. 14 plays, 80 yards the Giants went, and they got a 22-yard field goal from Raul Alegre. Kept the ball almost 6 minutes.
And the other thing they did is they established their passing game. They established their pass protection. As I said, on those things Sims has thrown it around, he's thrown to 10 different receivers. He's thrown in the middle, the right, the left, different guys. And they are now loosening that Ram defense up.
1st and 10 Rams at their own 22. Everett gets it out to Bell. Bell close to a 1st down and out of bounds by Perry Williams. For another NFL update, back to New York and Brent Musburger.
Pat, we've got a quarterback controversy brewing in Dallas. Troy Aikman, named the starter today, was nursing a 6-point lead, tried to get the sideline route, intercepted by Tim McDonald. He went the distance for the Cardinals, 53 yards. Now 7-6 Cardinals as Steve Walsh watches from the Dallas sideline. Let's go back to Pat.
10-3 in Anaheim. 1st down Rams with a minute and 36 seconds left in the first half.
See that Tim McDonald, Pat? You almost started to celebrate about the 5-yard line. I've seen that one happen before.
Rams have the ball at their own 32. Everett. Again to Bell. Bell jukes away and gets out of bounds. At a 5-yard gain.
You know, I think the Rams, by staying away from Lawrence Taylor, I think they're frustrating him. They're not letting him be a part of the action. And if you watch him on that last pass rush and he sees that big tackle in front of him all the time, it's frustrating. Watch Taylor right here as he comes in and he sees Pankey there. You know, he's been going all day. They've been staying away from him. That looks like a frustrated pass rush.
Everett has completed 10 in a row. 2nd and 5. And he gets another Ram 1st down before he's wrestled down by Banks.
You always want those guys to stay up, but sometime in staying up, they darn near get their head knocked off.
Rams in a hurry, and should be. A minute left, first half. Screen pass to Buford McGee. McGee to the 49, stopped by Sheldon White. 6-yard gain, timeout Rams. So now we have 53 seconds left to play in the first half, with the Rams on the move, leading by a touchdown. Pat Summerall, John Madden with 53 seconds left to go in the first half.
Yeah, we saw the play before that. Now they bring Lawrence Taylor on a stunt. You see, that's the way to do it. Bring him up the middle, and then I'll tell you, wherever the ball is, that guy is going to find it. I think that's the thing. You know, you can't just keep taking on that tackle all day. They have to move him around and loosen him up a little.
2nd down. touchdown. 51 yards away. Everett hits Cox.
Perry Williams was out there. He looked like he didn't think that Everett could throw it that far. Perry Williams just stood there and let Cox get behind him.
Lansford will try the extra point. Tell you what, John, you have to give the Rams some credit. They could have easily just run out the clock and gone to the locker room leading 10-3.
They're looking at here, but watch right there at the top of the screen. Watch Williams. He starts to run now. He slows up. He thinks Everett can't throw it that far. The ball gets out over his head.
I think that he was expecting some help from the safety man who fell down.
Well, that's what happens. Here's Perry Williams. Here's the safety. He's going to ride him back as he does. The safety is supposed to be over here to help him deep. He goes, boom, he falls down here, and that lets Cox gets in behind him because it is that zone. You see Williams is coming there. Now he thinks that he has that safety out there. Now watch when the safety, he goes to turn, he just falls on his back. Perry Williams was looking and thought he had a safety behind there.
If you don't know those things, you'll think it was all Perry Williams' fault. But Guyton is the man who fell down, and he was expecting some help behind.
And that's the type of zone defense that the Giants have played so well, is that they call it cover 2 or that loose zone. And you can see why Perry Williams pulled up. He rides him so far back, then he's going to let him go till the safety gets there. But the big thing is Jim Everett, 1, seeing it, and 2, having the gun to get it there.
Lansford set to kick off with 45 seconds remaining first half.
Gets
away from Meggett. He's still on his feet. Now he lost the ball, and the Rams have it. He lost everything but his uniform on that return. Footing, ball.
And there are still 36 seconds left. The ball should never hit the ground on a kickoff, but that one was kicked like a squid pick where it had to. It's hard to pick up. Then once you pick it up, you got to protect it. Meggett looked like he was going to break loose here. Then he fell down, and the ground just knocked it out of there.
And Bethune made the recovery. Rams have the ball at the Giant 21. Still 36 seconds left to play.
That's the tough thing about grass. You go to make some cuts, and sometimes those feet don't make the cut.
And one more timeout. Caught by Willie Anderson. Touchdown. Boy, how things could change in a hurry.
That's the thing that'll kill you. Good offense. Good protection by an offensive line and turnovers.
All of a sudden, the Rams are about to take the lead 24-3, depending upon the extra point.
This is Willie Flipper Anderson, the fastest man on the Ram team. John Robinson was saying yesterday, we got to get him back in the game. They're looking at this one. He catches that. That's a touchdown. He never did lose anything on that one. Not sure exactly what they're reviewing.
On further review, the play stands. Touchdown.
They said he was going to have more action today. That's the action they're talking about.
catch of the day. Extra point good. And all of a sudden, it went from a 10-3 game to a 24-3 game.
And they start here. The Giants are coming on a blitz. That puts them in man-to-man coverage. Good pass protection. Terry Kennard was blitzed from the outside. He fell down. But they had good pass protection. And then you'll see Anderson. He's down here in the bottom. He just makes a little move to the outside. And then again with his speed. The little burst right at the end to go out and reach out and get that ball. Sheldon White is a cover guy, man-to-man. You see right there when he gets a step, now all Everett has to do is throw it out in front of him.
And that was Everett's 14th consecutive completion, which ties a Ram record.
I think Jim Everett likes playing against this Giant defense. We mentioned before last year he threw 5 touchdowns against the Giants. I'll tell you, you can talk about Everett. His confidence is back. You can see it. But the other thing that's back is the protection of the offensive line.
It's hard to have confidence if you're lying on your back. Sometimes we forget that, I think.
Well, and the Giants are also having problems with their footing. They got to fumble the footing. The touchdown, there was a footing. The blitz, that last one, Kennard fell down. They had 3 plays in a row where guys slipped.
Ingram drops the ball at the 2. This time he got a good bounce. The Rams are down in a hurry. Del Pino made the stop. Again, a reminder that at the half we'll be going back to our New York studios. Brendan Irv will bring you up to date of all the scores and highlights around the NFL today. On the NFL today. 25 seconds remaining. The Giants have all 3 of their timeouts left. But I doubt if they'll try to do what the Rams did. They'll probably just run it out.
I would think so. I would think, you know, when you're on the road and you got that 85 yards to go and you only have 25 seconds and some bad things have been happening to you, I think you go to the kneel down play.
That's exactly what they're doing. They'll go back and regroup. That's the end of the first half with the score, Rams 24 and the Giants 3.
CBS Sports coverage of the National Football League is sponsored by Plymouth and your local Plymouth dealers, who invite you to test drive a Plymouth today. The U.S. Army, where you get an edge on life. Be all you can be. And by today's Duracell, the copper top battery.